Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company. Alan Ruff and Tam McManus are here with me, and if you hit that subscribe button, you can join the football family. And thank you to so many of you for consuming our unique video content. Lots of reporters out at matches, managers and players' reaction, and of course all the programming that you could want throughout the week. We're covering Scottish football more than anyone on the digital platform on a daily basis. You're getting your feed of football. So thank you to so many of you for showing your support. With that in mind, Manchester United finally sacked Ten Hag. James Wilson is living the dream with an Edinburgh Derby goal. Philippe Clement reckons the Dons are title contenders. What do you think? And Brendan Rodgers is more than happy with squad rotation at Celtic because they are still winning. So that's just a few of the things we'll be talking about. Here's a look at the results over the weekend of Saturday and Sunday. It was Dundee 1, St Johnstone 2, Ross County 2, Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0, Hibs 1, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Celtic 3, and Rangers 2, St Mirren 1. That's how it all panned out. I was at the Derby. It was one of those games, I think we all called it wrong, Tam, because quite simply, Hibs deserved to win it in my book. I thought they were the better team, and Hearts just snuck a goal at the end with a long throw-in.
Yeah, I think it was, depends which way you're kind of watching the game. I think that Hearts had more possession. I think they looked more comfortable in the ball, but it was in areas that didn't hurt Hibs. I think Hibs were quite happy for Hearts to have the ball in their own half and knock it about at the back and play in a low block. And Hibs, I thought Hibs were poor as well. I thought that, you know, on the ball, composure-wise, Hibs, bar Junior Hoylett, I thought the ball was like a hot potato at times. They just shelled it long and put it in the channels. Dwight Gale put it up front in his cell. They just fired balls at him.
But he could have had a hat-trick.
He should have scored. He should have scored a couple of goals, Peter. I think the header he's got to score. I think the one that bounces to him is a bit more difficult chance. I think the header that comes in, it's a great ball in, and he's got to score. And then the third one, I think he's got to generate power, but definitely missed a sitter. I think the first header he should have scored. And then Hibs get the goal. You think they're going to see the game out, but it's same old Hibs. They've lost so many goals this season, Peter. They've lost so many points late on in the game. They can't see a game out. And it's just, you're right, it's just a long throw-in. The first two contacts they don't make. You know, the first one gets flicked on, then it comes off Triantis' shoulder, and then fair play to the young lad Wilson on as a sub. You know what, he'd Boyce on the bench and he brought him on, so he must be highly rated in at Hearts. You got an experienced guy and he comes on before him and he makes a name for himself. That's what it's all about. But yeah, I think that Hibs should have won the game. But I'm looking at that Hibs team, Peter. I'm looking at the back four and the goalkeeper. And I feel the worst for Hibs this season. I feel the worst for David Gray because I think the left back's a good player, Obita. I think the right back's poor. And I think the two centre-halves are average. So, and the goalkeeper, I think he looks a bag of nerves. It was his mistake, Peter, just prior to the goal, where he should have just collected the ball and he fumbled it and it went out for a corner and it led to the goal. So I look at that Hibs team and I look at the back four and the goalkeeper and I think that David Gray's in a bit of bother.
Yeah, I can't disagree with him because obviously you can't keep making excuses, Ruffy, but I thought they deserved to win. I mean, all the possession that Hearts had, I didn't think they were... I was probably going there off this back of, you know, impressive in Europe and people talking about the managers come in and there's this high press and they're lively and they've got the players in the right position. But up until the middle of the park, it was possession without any real penetration. They had one chance in the first half where Shanklin is running and the central defender's just backing off him constantly. And I thought to myself, well, if you're going to back off against him, he could hit the net here. But he had one shot straight at the goalkeeper. But other than that, although it was patchy, I thought they created more, Hibs.
Yeah, I thought they did. And obviously from a goalkeeping point of view, I thought Craig Gordon got the point for him. I think he had two unbelievable instinct saves, you know, just sticking his hand out at the right time. One in the header, and I think it was one in the first half as well. I think he might have been a wee bit unlucky at the goal where he tried to put it over the bar, but he was backtracking, you know, so he couldn't get any height onto it. But no, I thought most of the chances fell to Hibs. But the goal, as you're talking about, if you're a manager, you know Hearts have got a long throw-in. You know there's only 6 minutes left in the game. Or is it somebody at the back say, right, I'm the best header of the ball, I'm the tallest in the defence, just when this ball comes howling in, I'm the one that's going to go and attack it. and nobody did it. Was it wee James Forrest, the wee Forrest?
Alan Forrest.
Alan Forrest that had, oh, you've got to get a big guy. You know he's only going to throw it to the 6-yard line at least. So you just get a big guy to just go and attack the ball. And if he does get beat, then everybody else fires in behind, because that's a thing you've got to practice before the game on the Saturday, because you know it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Big hi to Paul Brady. Stuart, Derek's out there in Carnoustie. Jason Craig as well, who says the Edinburgh Derby was poor. Jason, can't disagree with you. The standard was woeful, but it certainly was, great atmosphere, because obviously I love the fact I've got away fans there. Tommy Adams is in Thailand. Hi, Tommy. Michael Taylor, David King as well joining us. Lots of people joining us on a regular basis to talk football, and we're absolutely delighted that you can join us. I agree with you, Tam. The back four for Hibs will get him in trouble. I just think if they got the win, it would have bought them some more time to try and make mistakes, to tweak the team, to get players in and out, but they just didn't do it. And the manager himself, David Gray, came in, and you could tell he was just beating his head off a wall, because that's another couple of points gone.
Very much so. It feels like it's 2 points dropped again. I think when you look at the game, I don't think anybody can deny I thought we deserved to win the game, purely on chances created. I think Hearts had a bit more possession in certain areas where we were happy for them to have it, but unfortunately it's a tale of a similar story, which is we're creating 4 or 5 clear-cut chances. We need to take these chances when we're on top.
Yeah, let it slip. As far as Hearts were concerned, I think Neil Critchley would have easily have been by far the happier manager. He certainly was smiling when he walked into the press conference.
I loved it, yeah, I loved the whole experience, the hostility, some of the things that were said to me behind, and quite enjoyable. I loved it. It's been a great experience. I love watching the team play today. I want us to be a team that always plays our way, never give up our way of playing, whether we're playing home and away, whoever we're playing against, and that's going to be sometimes more difficult in playing against certain teams or in big atmospheres away from home like today. But I felt we came in and showed who we want to try and be.
Well, there might have been glimmers of it, but I thought they were poor. I wasn't impressed with them at all. And Tam says, what do you expect? It was a bottom of the league clash. Of course it was poor. You're absolutely right. I think of the players that were there, you absolutely feel for young James Wilson to get up in the morning. You know, you've dreamt of scoring a Derby goal and you get the equaliser. I mean, he walked into the press room, he was high as a kite.
Nah, yeah, you dream of that. Like that's what I wanted to do last night. I wanted to come on and score a better goal than that. But I wanted to score. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, to be honest, I wanted to get the winner. I wanted to go and win the game. But more senior boys told me to slow the game down a bit and just relax. And yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I was just buzzing I scored, to be honest.
I don't think we should have had that little clip at the end here, but nevertheless,
Good advertising.
For Arnold Clark. Fire in, Ruffy. With regards to that, I think he was desperate to get the ball out of the net to get back up there and try and get the winner, which was brilliant. But you know, I think a lot of the Hearts players were thinking, well, we might get a chance at the winner, but they definitely could have a chance at the winner. I mean, we talked about all the chances. If there was one, we're talking about Dwight Gale, but I thought Triantis. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He just has to pick a corner and the game's a bogey.
The thing is, Peter, he takes an unbelievably good first touch. It's a sensational first touch to set himself up right in front of goal, and then he chokes the shot into the ground. 2-0 at that point in the game, Peter. I don't even think Hibs could Hibs it. You know, I think that 2-0 the game was done. At 1-0 you're always fearing that Hearts could score, but no, I think you're disappointed. Again, it's just a Hibs team that can't hold a lead, Peter, and that's a real problem this season. You know, so many points have dropped from winning positions, and it can't go on like that. You've got to have a steal about you and see games out, and Hibs just unfortunately can't do that at the minute, and they've got a tough game during the week as well up at Ross County.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig W says 2 yo-yo Diddy teams. Terrible game. Quite harsh, Craig, to be perfectly honest with you. Michael Taylor says, Craig, both teams were ranked rotten, so they were more so Hibs because they couldn't string a pass. I think if you were a neutral watching that game and looking in on it, you would think it was football from another time because it was dire at times. The back four that Tam was talking about, I mean, there was a moment when Lewis Miller couldn't even play a 5-yard pass. He played it out for a throw. And I thought to myself, oh my God. And the other boy that I was looking to make sure I got his pronunciation right, Erik Ruffy, he's a bomb scare because he could not play with his... If the ball was facing his goalkeeper, he could not play the ball back to him. It was an easy pass. What he thought was the better option consistently was to shield the ball and then run into a Hearts player. I mean, it was embarrassing at times.
Well, sometimes, I mean, I'm playing derby games as well. Sometimes some people just can't handle it. They just go into a wee shell. If they don't get the first pass right, then they just don't want to make another one. So they tap to the easy options. And I think a lot of the players on the park just couldn't handle the occasion. But you would have thought with Hibs scoring first, that might have brought them out of their shell a wee bit. But I think when it went to 1-0, it made them worse because they said, all right, we'll have to try and see this game out. And they just couldn't do it. And I keep going back to you need a big, brave centre-half who's just going to mow everybody out the road to win that header.
Tam, I think you've hit the nail on the head on something which we are all mindful of is they've got to go up to Ross County, and Ross County are winning games at home. They're bottom of the table, and you've got St Mirren, the likes of Kilmarnock and Dundee up ahead of them, and he's got to go on a run. If he doesn't, somebody will pull the trigger on him.
Yeah, he's got to, Peter, and I think they're not taking their chances at one end and they're leaking goals at the other end. That's not a good combination as a manager. As I said, I wasn't impressed at all. There was times yesterday in the game where the two centre backs had time to pull the ball down and just play, and they just shelled it. There's no composure. I thought the right back all day. It has a lot of joy down that side. Blair Spittle was peeling out there, and Alan Forrest came on and gave him a nosebleed towards the end. And the goalkeeper, the goalkeeper's a bag of nerves. Anything on top of the goalkeeper, he was fumbling, he was palming things. He dropped to one just before the goal, but it's just an easy gather. So, I honestly feel the worst for David. Looking at that team and that performance yesterday, a win would have papered over the cracks for me. You're right, it would have bought me a wee bit more time with the supporters and different things, but it would have papered over the cracks. I don't see any clear identity what Hibs are about, how they try and play. A lot of it was just percentage football, knocking it up to the lone striker and playing off seconds. And as I said, the only person that had a wee bit of quality and composure was Junior Hoylett, who was excellent. The rest of the team were just running about like headless chickens. So I think he's got to go on a run of games and try and see some games out, but that's a tough one away from home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the battle at the top end, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, it's really getting interesting Saturday into Sunday all the time now because Aberdeen just can't stop winning. We're going to talk about the Dons in a minute. Motherwell 0, Celtic 3. It could have been different. Lennon Miller had a belter of a shot onto the post, and he hit a raker of a free kick onto the bar.
Yeah, he certainly did. I think early on, that gave Motherwell a wee bit of insight. I always think that when Celtic throw some of their reserve players on the park at the beginning of the game, they're vulnerable. I think these guys are good coming on the park with 20-25 minutes to go.
I didn't think Luke McCowan looked out of place.
No, I think he's an excellent signing. I think we all know what he did at Dundee, and he's carried it on to that style of play. He likes getting the ball, he likes going forward, likes getting run about the 18-yard line, and he's got a goal in him as well. So, yeah, I thought but Motherwell would have looked at the team lines and went, OK, they're throwing some of their subs on early here, so we've got a chance. And it would have been interesting to see what would happen if Miller's goal had went in, because that would have obviously put a wee bit of pressure. But after that, the possession was there for Celtic, and it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, and he can afford to do that at various games because of the pressures of European football. He just hopes that they're able to step up to the plate. Brendan Rodgers, this is what he had to say on that squad rotation. I've told all the players that they all have a role to play. Don't ever think it's just about the 11. They all know they have a big contribution to make. We were able to rest Arna, who's come in as a young player and played so many games. The distance he covered in midweek was huge. Having the ability to be able to do that, I'm obviously very grateful to the club for getting the players in that allow us to do that. And again, you know, that's the issue that I think a lot of people will be looking at. You've got a lot of, no Callum McGregor, you've got a lot of tired players who absolutely run their socks off against Atalanta.
Yeah, and it was no surprise to me, Peter, when I seen the starting 11 that they made changes. I think you look at the amount of ground they had to cover during the week. It was basically 90 minutes backs to the wall, you know, running, tackling, harrying, you know, and Callum McGregor, I think, has ran the most of any player in the Champions League. I seen a stat the other day. Arnie Engels was, you know, put a massive shift in as well. So it's good that they can rest the legs, they can bring some quality players in, and they've done that. Luke McCowan, superb. I thought he had a great game, took his goal well, Peter. I think he'll be a good signing for £1 million. But just going back to Lennon Miller, I think that Miller will break the transfer record with him.
Yeah?
Yep, I think, I look at him at 18 years old. I watched him closely yesterday, the first 25 minutes of the game. The positions he takes up, his body position, his quality on the ball, his shot off the post, his free kick off the bar. At 18 years old, he is one of the best young players I've seen in a while, and I think Motherwell are going to get a fortune for him. But they need to try and keep him as long as possible because I think he's their best player. But I seen him 2 weeks ago for Scotland under-21s away to Kazakhstan and scored a great goal. He's the best young player in Scotland for me.
Is he down south, or is he potentially someone that Celtic and Rangers will be sniffing about?
I think if you're Celtic, you go in after the game and you ask how much you want for him.
What, in a Ronaldo type?
Honestly, I think he was that good yesterday for the first half. I think if you're Brendan Rodgers or you're the Celtic board, you get in and speak to Motherwell and you say, how much do you want for Lennon Miller? Because I think Celtic have got the money to go and buy him, even if they loan him back to Motherwell for a season. I think he's a fantastic young player. His attitude, everything about him just screams quality. And for me, I think if you're Celtic, you're going to ask him how much you want for him.
Like him, Ruffy?
I like him as well. You know, that he is a young boy. We all keep saying, you know, you should try and get as many games under your belt. You know, what if, I know Tam's talking about him going back to Motherwell, that is a deal. I think if he was to go to Celtic, I don't think he'd get a lot of game time. You know, he would get game time, but it wouldn't be what he's getting with Motherwell. But I think there'd be much bigger fish to fry down in England. I think scouts, I don't know, you've never seen who's at the games, but there will be scouts trailing him right now. There's no doubt about it. And he's playing international football as well. So these are all boxes that he's ticking, you know, just to be seen, you know, who bites, you know. But we've seen a lot of these young boys going abroad now. You know, I've seen them all going to Italy, you know, yeah. So I suppose there will be people like that watching them as well. They'll be seeing the success of the young Scottish boys that are going abroad now, and he might be one of them as well.
3 and easy for Celtic. They got all 3 points. There was some impressive displays in there. It's a great pitch. You know, it's good to get 2 teams who want to play football. One little sour note in the game was Liam Gordon getting a red card for the tackle on Adam Idhah. Was it a red? Not according to the Motherwell manager.
I don't think he's come in there to try and injure the Celtic player. And you know, we can look at these things a million times on a screen. I think the referee got it right at the time when he awards Celtic the foul and he gives a yellow card. I don't know how many more times we need to look at that to try and determine and find a way that it's a red card. But as I say, there'll be a number of other people that will think it's a red card. I'm only giving you my view and that side. If that was a tackle on one of my players, am I screaming and shouting for a red card? Absolutely not.
Red card?
Stuart was in here and we like him. I thought it was great, you know, content for us coming in here and spoke well about the game, but I just think he's totally utterly wrong there. I think it's a really, really poor tackle, Peter. It's an ankle breaker. I don't think he goes into do him, Peter. I think he just goes in lunge. It's a tired lunge late in the game. I don't think it's premeditated. I don't think he's going to do him, but he's caught him high in the ankle. It's a red card 100 times out of 100 in any country. So I thought the referee got it right in the end.
Okay, Rangers 2, St Mirren 1. There was, again, I think a real unrest among a section of Rangers supporters. There was banners at the ground once more. It's your ineptitude is destroying your club. Time for fans to force change. Worrying about thousands while wasting millions. There's a group of fans, and I'm not in any way dismissing their point of view. They can make it. There's a collection of them. The majority of them might be younger. Everybody, regardless of age, has got the right to voice their opinion. I wonder if it's a fair reflection of a growing unrest among supporters, that they all share that view, or is it a case of there's an element of Rangers fans who just at this moment are sucking up, going from one game to the next, wondering what they're going to get?
Yeah, there is an element. Obviously, you've seen the banners there. I would say it's that segment of fans that are particularly not happy the way the club's been run. We've seen John, who's stood up and told everybody, we're actively going to bring somebody in here, somebody in there, somebody in there. Until they do that, these fans are still going to bring other banners, which I don't think helps the team at all. Protesting at your own ground, and you want to go out there and do your best, but they have a right. They're the ones that are paying their money. If they're not happy with what's going on behind the scenes, then the club need to get it sorted out.
They're not firing in all cylinders. The one thing I get from so many Rangers fans that I've been speaking to over the weekend, when you're out talking to football fans, Tam, it's quite simply that there's no real identity in them. There's no real menace in this Rangers side at all. And of course, the other thing is you're always susceptible to getting a goal scored against you. Olafsson could have had a couple. He had one in the first half, one in the second half, where he had a chance to get there. And of course, they conceded a very easy, sloppy goal to Gogic.
Yeah, listen, Rangers are just hanging in at the minute, Peter. They're just winning games. I don't think they're playing particularly well. I didn't obviously see the full game. I seen the highlights last night, like most people. And yeah, I think if you look at chances created, St Mirren maybe worthy of a point. Cherny seems to have come on again. He went through a real bad patch where he missed 2 or 3 sitters within a week or two, but he's bounced back, to be fair to him, and he's got ability. He cuts in that left foot. He looks dangerous, Peter, and he got the goal. But I'm still not convinced with Rangers. You're right. I don't see a real identity. They're a bit like Man United. They've got decent players in different areas, but it's just there's no clear the high press or the sit off. I don't really see a clear identity of how they want to play. But
is Clement like Ten Hag? Is he walking that tightrope?
Oh, I think he is, Peter. I think they're 1 or 2 bad results away for full scale wanting his head on a plate. So I think they're winning games just now. They've just got to win. It's as simple as that. But I don't think a couple of my mates were at the game yesterday and they were coming away from the game thinking, yeah, we won the game, but we're still miles off it where we should be of a club like Rangers. And they have got a massive game on Wednesday night. I think the game on Wednesday night will suit Rangers because Aberdeen will attack them. It'll be more a European game where they go away from home and they can maybe sit in a little bit and hit in the counter-attack. So I do kind of fancy them to get the job done on Wednesday, but I still think that they're miles away when you look at the way Celtic play and you look at the way they play. I think they're miles off it.
Interestingly enough, Philippe Clement reckons the Dons that they'll face up at Pittodrie on Wednesday night are genuine title contenders.
They made an exceptional start. If you see the amount of points they have, so it's going to be a big challenge. I'm looking forward to that. It's the next challenge for this new squad also to play there for a lot of players for the first time. I know the atmosphere from last season, so it's a good place to go. We had a really good night there last season, and I want to repeat that this season. I think they did exceptional well. If they keep this level all season, then they will in contention of that. But I'm focused on Rangers.
Yeah, and he's got a big job to do because if it all goes pear-shaped up at Pittodrie, and strangely enough, Robbie, I fancy the Dons.
I don't fancy them strongly. I think Rangers have still got players on their side that can go up there and hurt them. But as Tam said, a draw's no good to Rangers. A draw, they've put themselves in a position they need to win every game. And that puts added pressure on you. It puts added pressure on the players. He knows Aberdeen are on a good run. I still think they're vulnerable in certain parts of the game, which Rangers might cash in. So I think everybody's just waiting in anticipation to the end of this game to see where we actually are.
Bob says if Rangers beat Aberdeen, people will say Aberdeen have bottled it. if Aberdeen beat Rangers, people will say sack Clement. Yes, that's the madness. Bob, you're absolutely right. That's the madness of the football. Rangers edged it against a St Mirren side that could have actually maybe snatched a draw. They may well feel they were worthy of a draw. And Stephen Robinson at the end of the game, quite confident he can get his side moving back up into that top half of the table.
There's lots of chances, lots of half chances, scored from a terrific set play. So there's a lot to be positive about. There's very, very good players in the Rangers team. You look at the money they've spent and the player, the quality we're coming up against. To come here and put that performance in is a real pleasing aspect for me. And I said it in all the previous interviews I've just done. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. And we've proved today that if they play like that, they've got a tough mentality. And we need to see them again Wednesday and Saturday. And we'll be talking about claiming the league again.
Yeah, listen, he's a calm head. He doesn't. I think he treats both of them, praise and criticism, with the same disdain. He always likes to try and keep things calm, Stephen Robinson. But when you look at the way they're going at the moment, it's a poor run. It's an unusual place that you see them. And as I look at the actual run itself, that's 1 win in 12.
Yeah, and 4 defeats in a row, Peter. It's not been a great start to the season for St Mirren. I think they set a high standard last season with the league position and getting into Europe, and fans expect the same every season now. And a club like St Mirren, you'll probably lose your better players. If you'd have a good season, and it'd be difficult to replace them. I think they'll be fine. I think that the performance yesterday was pretty good. I think compared to the week before, Hearts away, getting battered 4-0. I think they went to Ibrox and were really competitive and still in the game right to the end. So I think St Mirren will be fine, but they're not in a great run of form. But as you said there, if they just keep putting performances like that in, they should be good enough to get results. But I think he's going to, they're in for a tough season this season. I don't think they'll be near the bottom, but I don't think they'll be in the top 6 either.
I was watching the Aberdeen Dundee United game. I wish I wasn't watching the first half, Ruffy. It was absolutely rubbish. It was so poor. In the second half, there is something that somebody said to me, and I think it absolutely sums it up perfectly. It's you're waiting for Aberdeen to score because they've got that belief at that ground.
Yeah, they certainly have. That's what happens when you go on a great run like that. You always expect somebody to come up with the goods because they've been doing it for the last 15, 16 games. So they got the wee break at the end of the game, but they've been getting wee breaks for a wee while now. But they always say you need a wee bit of luck, and they're getting everything that's going for them. But I thought the possession they had of the ball later on in the game, in the second half in particular, I thought it was good. They were the team that looked as if they were going to get the goal.
And yet again, if Nicky Devlin doesn't get that touch, Ambrose doesn't score, this is your right back. I mean, this is why it's been such an impressive season for him. He was the captain on the night. He ends up getting that touch that lays it back to Ambrose for the winner.
Yeah, it's just the desire, Peter, to get into the box. I think you've seen it yesterday as well with St Johnstone. Full back coming in and getting a goal. I think that Nicky came in at the back post and done enough for the ball to drop to Ambrose for him to put it in the net. I thought second half Aberdeen thoroughly deserved to win the game. I thought they were very good second half. They were shooting into obviously that big stand, and the fans were right behind them, and you could sense the goal was coming. The goalkeeper had a great save just prior to that. But Aberdeen totally deserved to win the game. 1-0, great result, and they move on to a big game against Rangers. But yeah, just momentum with Aberdeen at the minute. I think that they're obviously a bit sellout again, I think, during the week, and they've just got something about them at the minute. It's just they look as if they're going to win every game. They look as if they're going to pick up points, but another big acid test. They come through the first one against Celtic at Parkhead, but this is another one on Wednesday night against Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Tilleen certainly making Pittodrie into a fortress.
I just thinking about what we get out from it, our team and the Aberdeen player and the supporters. I don't think so much about the opponent. So I'm more focused on the strengths that give to the players and how they enjoy it, and they get this extra meters in the legs in the end of the games and can pushing because of the support we have and this atmosphere.
I think a lot of people wondering, Ruffy, if you're going to go up there with a couple of big giant flags. You love your flags at Pittodrie.
Yeah, I mean, anybody in the good old days used to love going up there when an Aberdeen Pittodrie was jam-packed. They've got that back again. For a wee while there, it was only 10, 11, 12,000. Now it's capacity. Everybody's buying into a team that's winning every week and playing good football as well. And it's a joy to be up there, because I think it's a hard shift for them. Every fortnight they've got to travel large distances, and the supporters do travel in large numbers. So no, good luck to them. They're a breath of fresh air. We saw it last year when we didn't have an Aberdeen or a Hibs or a Hearts. Well, we had Hearts for a wee while. But you need them. You need them up there to generate a bit of interest in their league.
When was the last time you were at Pittodrie, Ruffy?
The time when I nearly got us killed, in the car. And I drove it in front of the boy. And our lives flashed by us.
Yeah. And you haven't been back since? No, right, okay. We need to get you back up there. It's a brilliant day out. And of course, I did watch Kobe's match report, and, I was waiting for him to let off a flare at one point. It was just mental. He was cock a hoop with it all.
Yeah, I think that's every Aberdeen fan at the minute, Peter. I think obviously the last couple of seasons have struggled a wee bit, getting through a succession of managers. I think Dave Cormack's picked the right one now, and I think the whole club, the whole city's behind the team. And Ruffy's right, it's great for the league, it's great to generate interest, it's great that Aberdeen are up there and their fans are singing they're going to win the league.
Yeah.
I love it.
They don't just sing that part.
Obviously, they put a swear word in there, but no, I think it's great. It's great for the game. And if they beat Rangers on Wednesday night, are they genuine title contenders?
Well, there's a great line that opens us up to getting battered, but I'm going to answer it right now on the basis that I think they'll win against Rangers. I think they'll beat Rangers 2-1. I just have the atmosphere will be unbelievable, and I think Rangers are going to know they're in a game. It's just a fabulous game in prospect. I fancy them to win. Are they title contenders? No. Tam?
Ruffy?
If they win the game, I think at this moment in time they're capable enough to split the Old Firm. I don't think they've got enough in reserve, like the way Rangers and Celtic bring players off the bench. I don't think Aberdeen have got that nucleus of a squad that's going to, as we get to January, February, March, that they've got guys on the bench that are going to come on and win games as much as Rangers and Celtic.
Could they strengthen if they get a sniff that they're out in front? Remember, it's a £60 million roll of the dice.
To win it.
Well, to get second, to suddenly get a chance to play a qualifier or two or three in the Champions League.
Not winning the game, not winning the league for me, no.
No, but second?
Yeah. If they beat Rangers on Wednesday, I'd think unless Rangers really get their act together in January.
Yeah.
I don't think they're title contenders at all. No, but I think if they win during the week, I think if they win during the week, they might finish second.
Okay, might. That's what I like about
No, I think they will finish second if they beat Rangers. They go 9 points clear of them, and I think the Rangers might be looking for a new manager.
Okay, there you are. Eventually you got it out of him. Fair play to Jim Goodwin. He thought the better team won.
I can't have too many arguments about the result. Aberdeen were the better team in the game. We were quite happy in the first half for them to have possession. Deep in their own half, we knew they were going to look for the pace of Kiskin and Duke in behind, and I thought we managed that pretty well in our low block, denying them the space behind. Credit to Jimmy Keelan, he makes changes tactically in the second half, and I thought then it was pretty evident in the first kind of 5-6 minutes of the second half that they were really overloading the wide areas and causing us a lot of problems. So we had to try and change the shape to stem the flow. But look, it's a disappointing result.
Yeah, disappointing result. Fair play to the manager. He just takes it on the chin. Jim Goodwin licks his wounds and then goes to fight another day. Aberdeen, 3 points now up at Pittodrie against Rangers. Who's going to win that match? Give us your view on that. We're going to look ahead to those Wednesday fixtures and get the ultimate predictions from the guys as well. And just before we talk about some of the other games, AR says, why do these three guys have jackets from TGI Fridays on? Well, these are the Maestro jackets, and of course, they're just part of the ultimate answer, I have to say to you, for Christmas, because if you are struggling to buy your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, or someone you love a wee prezi, then I think Kerry and Patrick have the answer for you.
Patrick, you always have good ideas for gifts. What do you suggest I get someone who's tough to buy for at Christmas?
Kerry, that's easy. This year I'm heading to the PLZ Soccer Shop. They've got Maestro training tops, perfect for golf and leisure. And what would be better than getting a Legends t-shirt on Christmas morning?
Patrick, you're a legend. PLZ Soccer Shop, here I come.
What a house that is. That reminds me of Stuart Milne's house we were in up in Aberdeen, Ruffy, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
All that mahogany.
that and the 10 other rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. If you...
What are you saying about the acting there?
Well, see, to be honest with you, I
Charts
thought...
and the Jets, five guys called Mo.
I thought those
Wrong with Villiers.
Calm down, because you two Egypts have just recorded yours and I can't wait to see it.
I hope we get a good background like that.
Oh, you're going to get something absolutely sensational. Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, AR, if you're looking for a present for your family, click on the link, get into the PLZ Soccer Shop on our website, and you've got 20 legends to choose from.
Yes, and...
You've got 20 legends through the coughs as well, but you've got 20 legends.
I need a water badly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someday.
And everybody's...
Somebody's going to get... I think somebody's going to get him a water, because he's that. I've been there myself, Tam. It's unbelievable. Don't bother. We're not going to ask you a question.
Go on.
Eh?
Go on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Dundee 1, St Johnstone 2, and this is where I feel as if the pressure is intensifying on Hibs, because suddenly Simo Valakari is a new manager and he's got to win again.
And he's tweaked it, and I think the biggest tweak that he's made is their top goal scorer, Nicky Clark, not playing up front by himself, just playing off the front two. He's getting a lot of space and he's causing havoc in most of these games. And for some reason or other, they seem to have, a lot of energy up front and in wide positions. They have a lot of pace, and they're getting a wee bit of a rub of the green just now as well. I mean, that's 2 wins back to back, so, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Ruffy, there's nothing better than Cara sneaking in to give you a cup of water. You okay? Fantastic. Of course, Simo Valakari only just in the door, finally in the dugout, and well impressed with what he's getting from the players.
The previous game, we pretty much controlled everything. We scored a goal and it was from there. But today, what happened half-time, I was listening to the players when they were talking. They were talking the right things. They were demanding hard from each other, but they knew and they were discussing about the things, how we can improve our game for the second half. And then, of course, we can talk, but most important, the players went out and did these actions. So very happy for that.
Yeah, maybe a surprise for Dundee. It's not going well for them at the moment. Simon Murray set them on their way and then it just all went pear-shaped.
Yeah, it did, particularly in the second half. St Johnstone came out, breath of fresh air. Players were starting to turn it on and backs to the wall. They did get the very fortunate goal at the end. It was very good seeing the referee talking to the two managers, explaining why it taken 8 minutes, to come to a decision.
Yeah.
Which was very
too long.
Admirable of it, but what is it?
Admirable.
Admirable. But one of the managers is obviously not going to agree with him, and it was very evident which one it was.
And here's Tony Docherty.
I still don't really understand it, to be honest. I've been seeing the referee. I'm not sure. What I was told was that they were checking for an offside. I think when Nicky Clark was a goal scorer, but they couldn't. But I think I was told because of the amount of bodies that were there, they couldn't actually determine whether or not he was on or offside. So they stuck with the on-field decision, which the referee made, and the goal stood. Which I don't understand. Why have we got VAR then? I don't understand.
Yeah, and that final game over the weekend was Ross County 2, Kilmarnock 1 again. Ross County, great for them, Tam, winning at home. But I have to say, I thought the referee made a complete pig's ear of it. I mean, Liam Donnelly, 2 yellow cards. Give me peace, man.
Yeah, I mean, the first yellow card's never a yellow card. And I think that Kilmarnock have been done a couple of times this season with red cards. I think they'd get one rescinded from the big centre-half. And red cards are killing Kilmarnock. I mean, I think that's 3 or 4 they've had already this season. And I think they were 1-0 up at the time.
Yeah.
You know, they're 1-0 up, they're cruising in the game, and that totally changes the game. You know, Ross County get the goal a minute or two after and then going to win the game. So I think Derek will be bitterly disappointed again with losing a player. The second one's maybe a yellow card, but the first one's not. And disappointing because Kilmarnock were going for 3 wins in a row, you know, and it looked as if they were hitting a bit of form. But Ross County just seem to be pulling results out, particularly at home. And that's why I'm fearful of Hibs going up there during the week, because they're hard to beat at home.
I know it's slightly controversial, but I think it'd be a nightmare if a Hibs, you know, were relegated, Ruffy. It'd just be, I know it's a terrible thing to say and I'm leaving myself wide open for it, but you know, Scottish football needs those big derbies and they need a strong Hibs in there.
Yeah, they do, but I think eventually they'll get their act together. You know, I don't think they're that bad that they're going to be in the bottom 2. But obviously you need to win games, and this will be a test going up to Ross County for a test of character of some of the players, you know, to go up there and get something. But it is, I'd love somebody to tell me when the last time Hibs and Hearts were bottom of the league.
Yeah.
I can't imagine when that would have been.
It's such, I just think it's...
Well, it was Hearts' worst start to a league in 100 years, and it was Hibs' worst in 40 or 50 years. So that shows you how bad both clubs have been at the start of the season, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to look at those fixtures for Wednesday night, give you our predictions. Why don't you give us your prediction on it as well? There's the games to look forward to. Celtic, Dundee, Dundee United, Motherwell, Hearts, Kilmarnock, Ross County, Hibs, St Mirren and St Johnstone, and 8 o'clock, Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Rangers. We will give you our predictions very shortly. Let's have a look at the news.
Hello and welcome to your daily news headlines on Monday 28th of October, sponsored by Arnold Clark. Hearts manager Neil Critchley has said that it's on the club's radar to renew youth players like James Wilson with a new contract. That's after the youngster scored the equaliser in yesterday's Edinburgh Derby.
It has been mentioned, it's on the radar of, you know, people around me at the club, because one, you want to give young players an opportunity, but also if they do well, then you want to reward them, but they have to earn that as well.
Philippe Clement is unsure whether or not John Souttar and Tom Lawrence will be available for Wednesday night's game against Aberdeen. That's after medical staff told him not to play John Souttar yesterday.
No, John was really because he couldn't today. So medical staff and performance staff were really clear about that. That if I would put him on the pitch, that it was a big risk for an injury. So that's why I didn't do it.
Manchester United have sacked Erik ten Hag following yesterday's 2-1 defeat to West Ham. He spoke to the media yesterday and he was confident that he would turn things around.
In this moment, definitely the luck is not on my side. It's not about me, it's about the team. And it's not on our side, and we have to turn this around. And it will turn around if we keep playing like we are playing now.
Finally, Brendan Rodgers hopes that captain Cal McGregor will be back fit in time for Saturday's League Cup semi-final clash against Aberdeen, if not for Wednesday's game against Dundee. Those were your daily news headlines on Monday 28th of October, sponsored by Arnold Clark. For more breaking news and content, please be sure to download our app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks to Cara for the news headlines. This is, of course, the football show. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. You can join the football family. Again, we put it out live Monday, Wednesday and Friday, the football show, only because we get absolutely pissed off, Ruffy, with so many people just saying, can you put it out live? The majority of people watch the programme at their leisure on their YouTube channel, on their big screen, you know, when they sit down after they've had their dinner and they enjoy it. It's some people like it when they're in at work and they can sit there and get their fix of it. But it's great the response we get from people. You know, live's great. We read out as much as we can, but lots of people near and far are tuning in when they want.
Yeah, and I know we three are out and about and that, and it's amazing the amount of people that come up to you and say they do watch it and they like it live. It means they watch it whenever, and I think it's obviously the more people we meet, the more people come up and say hi, the better.
Yeah, and you ran into a wee nurse who watched the programme.
Yeah, I made not a flippant comment last week, but a nice comment about the.
Yeah, what was the comment you made again?
I said that the NHS nurses are doing a fantastic job, and particularly the nice ones
Yeah.
are very nice at their job.
Yes.
And lo and behold, I find myself in the hospital over the weekend, and a little nurse came up to me and said, "Am I one of the pretty ones?"
Yeah.
So I said, "Yous are all pretty."
Yeah, exactly. There you are. Dig from the bold roughie. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you to so many of you for offering your support. And of course, let's not forget that the Women's Football Show is always now out on the road, interviewing some of the best players in the Premier League in Scotland, and of course covering the international football as well. And Alison and Kerry are at Easter Road, and the Women's Football Show will be from Easter Road this week. Let's not forget also the journos. You can watch that. You can watch Straight Talk one-to-one interviews, as well as the football show. And let's also pay tribute to our reporters who are right across all the press conferences and the games, getting you managers and players. If you download the app, you'll get all the breaking news at your fingertips. So with that in mind, I'm looking forward to the midweek cards. So unusual, Ruffy. Celtic, Dundee, Dundee United, Motherwell, Hearts, Kilmarnock, Ross County, Hibs, St Mirren, St Johnstone, Aberdeen, Rangers. Prediction for the Dandy Dons at home. Flags, flames, undoubtedly lots of orchestrated celebrations as the teams walk out. The atmosphere will be absolutely blistering, and there will also be that fantastic sold-out sign going up again.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great night for everybody who's there. You know, obviously both sets of supporters will be hoping that their team win the game. I have just got a sneaky feeling that Rangers will just edge this by the odd goal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You going for the Teddies?
I'm going to go for Rangers to win 2-1.
Okay. Tam?
Yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 to Rangers as well, Peter. I think that Aberdeen will come flying out the traps, they'll attack Rangers, and that will suit Rangers. It'll be more a European style game. I think Rangers struggle when they come up against teams that sit in, and I think Aberdeen will go for the throat. They'll think they can win the game, and I think it will suit Rangers. I think they might narrowly win 2-1.
Okay, Jason Ladd says 3-0 to the Dandies. I think our reporter might just spontaneously combust if that were to happen. 3-1 to the Dons, says Aurora. 1-1 and 2-2 seems to be a score. Les says 2-1 to Aberdeen. It's been a while since we've got to that situation where suddenly there's a third team making it really interesting in the first quarter of the campaign. So Aberdeen against Rangers. Celtic at home to Dundee, and again with players that he's been resting and squad players coming in and all trying to stake a claim. How do you see this one going?
I just think it'll be a comfortable home win, Peter. I think the Dundee are not in great form at the minute. I think St Johnstone deserve to win at the weekend, and Celtic will bring in, I think they'll bring in the big guns again. Callum McGregor will come in, Engels will come in. I think Kyogo will come in, and I can only see a comfortable home win for Celtic.
Yeah, I can't see anything other than a couple of goals.
No, I think they're getting Dundee at the right time. Nothing seems to be happening for them. Wee bit rub of the green doesn't be happening to them either. They're losing goals. That obviously the manager just can't get his head round. He doesn't think he's getting the rub of the green from the referees. So I don't think you'll have to worry about the referees. I think Celtic will just be too tough for them.
Yeah, okay. What are you going for, a couple of goals?
3-0.
Comfortable 3-0?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
3-0 for me as well.
Yep, okay. I'll go 2-0 on that one. Dundee United take on Motherwell up there at Tannadice. How do you see that going, Tam?
Yeah, I think that Motherwell were pretty impressive the first 20 minutes yesterday. Obviously Celtic at a different level from most of the teams in the league, but I think they're capable of going up to Dundee United and maybe getting a point. I was disappointed with Dundee United against Aberdeen. I thought they didn't perform the way they have been performing and deservedly lost the game, but I think that'll be a tighter game. I'll go for one each in that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for goals in that one. I'm going to go 2 each. I think both sets of players, go up there thinking they can win the game, but unfortunately I think they'll have to settle for a draw.
Okay, I am going to be slightly controversial on this one. It's one of those ones I'm going to go Motherwell to win 2-1. Hearts against Kilmarnock. Derek McInnes was miffed with what happened at the weekend with that sending off. I think he might be on the back end of another one. I'm going for Hearts to win this one 1-0.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with Hearts yesterday, Peter, to be honest. I think they looked poor.
Yep.
But at home, I think they're stronger at home. They've had 2 great results at home under the new manager. And I think going back to Tynecastle, I'd agree. I think they might just have too much for Kilmarnock, and I'll go for narrow 2-1.
Yeah, Ruffy?
No, I'm going to go for an easy 2-0 for Hearts.
All right, okay, getting back onto winning ways. Ross County against Hibs. I have to say, I really, at times, I think, I was watching him in the press conference yesterday, and David Gray, exasperated is probably the best way to sum it up. Time and time again coming in, trying to highlight chances gone, goals given away. And I think up at Dingwall, it's going to be equally difficult for them. I fancy Ross County to win 2-1.
No, I'm going to go for a draw, Peter. I think that, Hibs are creating chances, they're just not taking them, and I think one day they will take them against someone and they'll win a game comfortably. But I'm just, as I said at the start of the show, I'm not convinced them defensively. I don't think they're capable of going up there and keeping a clean sheet. So I'm going to go for a 2-each draw.
Yeah, Ruffy?
I thought the sending off flattered Ross County a wee bit at the weekend. I think maybe get something out of that. So I'm going to stick my neck out and go a Hibs 2-0 win.
Hibs to win 2-0?
No, sorry, 2-1.
2-1, okay, 2-1. You're giving County a goal.
Yeah, I forgot about the Hibs goalie.
Okay. God. St Mirren, St Johnstone, the Battle of the Saints. It's such a difficult one. For me, it's got draw written all over it, 1-1.
Yep, I agree with you, 1 each.
1 each, yep.
Wow, everybody on the same page there. Just before we go, I've got to talk about Manchester United. Yet again, another manager sacked. Ten Hag this time, and I think from his point of view, he was even yesterday after defeat, he was still thinking he was the man for the job and could turn it around.
Last season was not different, but in the end we turned this around, and we are so determined it will be the same case today. But yeah, we have to turn this around, and it.
Yeah, well, he ran out of time. I thought he was unlucky with the penalty that West Ham got. I didn't think it was a penalty. But then when things are going against you, United should have won the game out of the park anyway. They had 3 or 4 big chances, can't score them. And they've got, I don't even see a style. We always talk about this style, this DNA. We're talking about it with Rangers early on. I don't see that in Manchester United. They're just going from one failed manager to the next.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they get next, Peter. It has been a bit of a poison chalice since Alex Ferguson, stepped down from the role. There hasn't been really anybody successful there, and they've been through some top managers, guys like Jose Mourinho and guys like that. So, Davy Moyes, Gareth Southgate's been mentioned. I don't know if he's
not Man United.
I don't think he's Man United class. I think they'd be looking for someone else, but. Whoever comes into that job has got a real mess. I think a squad of players who have got no direction. I was talking about Rangers earlier. Man United, how do Man United play? No idea. It just seemed to be a collection of big money signings that were just thrown on the park to try and get a win. So for one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest, for them to be sitting 14th in the league is totally unacceptable, and they need to get this appointment right because the fans are running out of patience down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a club the size of Man United shouldn't be sitting 14th in the league.
Who's an outstanding candidate, though, that comes in?
It has to be a foreign guy. A foreign guy who's been part of.
There's no English manager good enough?
No, I don't think so. I think there's got to be somebody with a foreign team who have done particularly well in Europa or Champions League, or a history of winning big leagues over there, whether it's Italy, Spain, Germany, whatever. It has to be somebody with a bit of pedigree, and he's got to structure the team with the players that Man United should have, quality international players, and get them back to where they are, because they are a team that should be top 4.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Couldn't separate Arsenal and Liverpool at the weekend as well. It's going to be one of those interesting title races going down to the wire again. Will Liverpool be in the mix along with Arsenal and Manchester City? Who knows? One of the things that's interesting tonight, just before we finish, guys, is the Ballon d'Or nominees. There's a few. Jude Bellingham's in there. I don't get it. Danny Carvajal, and of the favourites, Haaland's in the mix. Also, I think you've got Emi Martinez in there. Rodri seems to be one of the front runners, but for me, I think I thought Vinicius Junior, but apparently the sniffs are that Rodri looks as if he's in the box seat.
Yeah, I think Rodri last season was outstanding. I think he's the best midfield player in the world. Won the championship with Man City, won the European Championships with Spain. Unfortunately, he's picked up an injury earlier this season. But for me, it'd be out of him and Haaland. But I would go for Rodri. I think Bellingham's overrated. I think he's overrated. I watched him again the other night. I think he's a very, very good player. I don't think he's world class yet.
Yeah, I
think Rodri's genuine world class midfield player.
I agree with you. I said this last year, and a lot of people looked at me and said, they were having big arguments in the office about it. I think sometimes, especially the English media, they elevate players way beyond where they are. World class players for me, Ruffy, are players that can walk into any team, but when they're in the team, they're a standout. They win games. They make key moves that win games, as well as scoring big goals or creating something from the midfield that wins their team the game consistently. That's a world class player to me.
Yeah, like Tam, I haven't seen it from him yet. I think he's a very competent midfield player. He must be to be playing with the club he's at just now. They obviously see something in him, but I mean, I don't even have him up there as good as Gerrard, even Beckham. The guys who you're talking about did win games for England single-handedly. So, he's not done it for me yet. Maybe he's still young enough to do it, but I haven't seen it so far.
No, I haven't seen it, absolutely. Listen, thank you to so many of you, obviously.
Sorry, is the young Yamal boy in
Yamal, yeah.
Is he in that?
Yeah. you like him?
I was impressed.
Is it a young player, or is it just a straight off Ballon d'Ors, like maybe a young player of the year or whatever? But he would definitely be that for me.
Well, he's in it. Lamine Yamal is in that list of nominees. I don't think he's going to get it. But I think the other trophies that are handed out, Ruffy, are the Lev Yashin. For the benefit of younger viewers, Lev Yashin was a fantastic Russian goalkeeper. So there's a trophy there. There's a Copa trophy as well, which I think basically is an award that goes to the best soccer player under the age of 21. So he's in there. It's Kubarsi of Barcelona, Garnacho, Man United, Güler of Turkey, Real Madrid, Kanate of the Ivory Coast and Salzburg, Kobe Mainoo, Man United, Neves, who's at Paris Saint-Germain, Savinho at Man City, and Matthias Tell at Bayern Munich, Lamine Yamal, and Warren Zaire-Emery at Paris Saint-Germain. Well, Yamal for me.
Yamal for me. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, okay. It's all about opinions. We'll find out tomorrow.
Hopefully shines.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. We'll have to explain that to everybody before we eventually go off here. Should we bother? No, we shouldn't. Looking forward to the Women's Football Show as well. There's lots of great little features coming out, one-to-one interviews that are going to catch your eye coming up. Don't forget to get onto that PLZ Soccer Shop and download an easy present for someone who's difficult to buy for. It could be for leisure wear, could be for golfing, could be for training. It's all in the shop. Get on there, click on it in the website, download the app, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We really do enjoy your support and appreciate it as well. From Ruffy, from Tam, I think I gave him the cough that I had last week. Thank you for listening and watching.